Okay, so our only issue right now is we're getting a little too hot for my comfort. So I'm just gonna get this thing home. I'm only up the street. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to technically part 3 of just doing maintenance on my truck. So, as we've left off in the last video, we were overheating a bit, and it's because I put this coolant in there. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm just gonna dump it out because I don't even dare put in anything else. For whatever reason, my truck does not like this, like, it's green, but it's very watery looking, and there's like bits of stuff all throughout it. So I don't know, maybe it sat on the shelf too long, something like that. Anyway, we have this other O'Reilly's coolant, and for whatever reason, I had a cooling issue in my truck before. I drained it out, and I used this O'Reilly's coolant, and it's just a little bit more green looking. I don't know, better formula. I don't know why my truck likes it more, but I'm going to just simply drain out the coolant that I just put in the truck and put this new coolant. And this time I'm going to leave the bleeder screw off right down here. It's a little 10 millimeter. And as I fill this, the air should come out, and we should be good. So I'll lift up the truck and drain it out, and we'll pour in the new coolant. All right, we've gotten our coolant drained, and now I pulled the bleeder screw, and we're just going to fill this up until it starts steadily dripping out of there. We got a nice stream. I'll put it back on, and then we'll turn on the truck. I'm sure once the thermostat opens, we're gonna have to pour some more in. So I'll see you guys once I do that. So to be quite honest with you guys, I put my drain pan back down there. I think the thermostat that I just put in is bad, like out of the box. So we're just gonna throw the old factory one back in and see if it goes. I tried to elevate the truck a bit so some of the coolant would stay in there. We'll see. It sucked to go buy another 2 jugs of coolant because we are on 4 jugs of coolant so far. But it's all good. I'm going to pull this out and just tap it off, let it drain into the bucket. And then we'll refill it after putting the other thermostat housing in. But we're going to have to let it dry for like an hour. I'd be lying if I said that didn't for sure suck, but we put the Nissan one back in. I guess I could have just bought OEM instead of aftermarket. I'll know that for next time, and we'll just replace it once it goes bad. Or I'm sure there'll be something else I got to pull the coolant out of this thing for, and I'll change it then. But for now, just to see if this was the issue, we converted back to it. We're going to silicone this up again, dried it all off, and see how it goes. Oh boy, is this truck lucky. I love it. So in this video, we're going to be doing a lot of maintenance stuff today. I did just start the truck and let it idle, and it didn't overheat like it was. So we're going to go take it for a quick test drive. If the test drive goes good, the tires should be in a little later today. We'll probably go see our friend and get the new tires that we have coming in mounted to the proper wheels that are supposed to be up front here. We only swapped them out because the other ones were showing bands, so they were not safe to drive on. And in this video, hopefully we'll change the spark plugs, the cap and rotor. Maybe I might save changing my trigger wheel for Mega Squirt for another video, but unfortunately this truck is out to kill me today. I went to go start it and my starter is dead. That is just depressing. So time to call the parts store. Well, just called about my starter. They said they'll have it in the morning. Until then, we are going to pop the clutch to start this thing up so we can go test it to see if the coolant's gonna overheat. Wonderful. Yeah, my truck really loves that right now. Well, that's a dub. The truck's been sitting. It's still pretty cool. A little hotter because it's been idling, but that's cool. Oh, look at that. Starter decided to work again for a second. I don't know. I think it's time to just replace it anyway. Even though the starter does come on, it is confirmed that starter is definitely toast. I had some issues with it before. We did try to change the little clutch safety switch because I figured that might have been going bad. But if we're having the same issue and that's all bypassed, then there it is. It means it's a starter. So until then, because the truck is kicking over, we are going to change our spark plugs. So that job is pretty easy. It's legit. Bam, unplug 1, grab it by the bottom, unplug 2, unplug 3, and unplug 4. You don't want to do this when this is hot because you don't want to melt these plugs. And right now we're a little toolkit. Got this cheap Husky toolkit. We got this pretty cool socket 4 spark plugs. There's a lot of sets that do come with them. Oh, drawer. Bam, right here. So on this truck, it's the 5/8. Just going to grab this and a nice extension. So this is super simple to do, very easy basic maintenance type thing. Now that I've cracked that free, I can just use my hand to untwist it. And everything is looking really good under here right now. We just did the timing chain and dealt with a couple other things. So I don't know. I guess I just had a lot of maintenance to catch up on for the summer of 2023. But just like that, loosen it up and bam, pull it out. And I'm just changing them because they've been in here a while. I was having some timing issues, so just want to make sure everything is up to par. Now I'm going to do that to the other three. All right, and it's legit such a super simple, very easy beginner maintenance job. Now we just plug these back into place where they go, and we'll be all set. But I think this should make for a much happier engine. All right, I'm going to give the truck a little start check real quick and just see if it does start. Just see how much happier the engine is with spark plugs that are gapped a little bit better. It actually sounds a little bit cleaner for what it is. Been getting a little bit of a ticking noise at low RPM, so I'm gonna try to figure out what it may be. Still gonna go get it tuned. That's hopefully gonna be in the next couple weeks. But one thing at a time. But it runs fine. All right, perfect. Now, what we're going to install next is our new distributor cap and button, which is a pretty simple job. And it's funny because we just had that off, and I'm also going to have to take it off in another video, but that's okay. I'd rather get all this new stuff on now, and we'll come back to it after. So we're going to open up the box now, and this is our new distributor cap. Cool thing is about this one, I opened it up at the parts store and notice it's numbered, which is pretty cool. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's perfect. That's like really helpful actually if you are a beginner and don't know your firing order or didn't take videos or forgot. And right in here is our new button. To pull the distributor cap off, we're gonna want to undo the 2 screws, one on each side. We can unplug everything because we know where it all goes now. So I'm gonna pop these off because I might need 2 hands. Maybe I can do it here. But yeah, I just wanted to get rid of this cap. It's got that muddy aspect in there. And you know, it's just starting to show a little wear. Nothing too crazy. All right, now that I've pulled those off, we can take our cap off. It's not too bad in here, but like I said, whatever made that all mucky in there is pretty strange to me. But irregardless, we have our new cap here. But before, we're going to also add in our new button, which is just down here. Looks like it could be an 8 or 10 mil. It's really hard to tell from right here. We're gonna try a 10 first. No, it's too big. So it is nice. It is definitely gonna be an 8 millimeter. Yep, right on there. Just unscrew this, and then we're gonna salvage the screw for the new one. Okay, and with that installed, we have our number 1 cylinder would be like towards the bottom right. Screw that down and plug in the new the wires. All right, and yet again, we are going to start the truck up just to test the new parts because you never know if it has some sort of issues or malfunction. I'd rather know now before throwing away the old parts. And yet again, everything sounds very clean, which is very good. So we've just changed our distributor and our plugs. You could always change the wires. My wires aren't that old, to be honest. I think I just changed them like a year ago. So I'm just gonna leave them. It's not really anything I'm too worried about right now. But yeah, basic maintenance, and it's super easy to do. Very cost efficient. I think for the spark plugs, cap and rotor, it was like 70 bucks. So not too bad, not too bad. I went with like a iridium spark plugs. So now we are going to be going to see our friend Shaq and getting the new tires thrown on there. Well, the new tires for the wheels we already had. These are these bad boys sitting right there. Those belong on the truck. These are the tires that need to go on there. So same wheels, just Kumos. I've actually liked them so far, and they're pretty cost efficient. Essentially, like it's like 188 bucks for the 2 tires. And they lasted me like 2 seasons, so I'm not upset with that at all. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good, sounding pretty good. I think the next step is to get the tires put on the wheels, and I'm probably gonna jack this up and pull the starter tonight. Install the new starter. If we're still having issues after installing the new starter, well, we know our starter wasn't bad, and there's something else, like a bad ground or something. But I do think it's just my starter is becoming faulty. All right, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm stalling on doing the starter just because we've done so much work to the truck. It's just like such a pain in the tail. But that's okay. The starter's going to be in the morning, so why not get this all apart so in the morning I can just go pick it up and install it. So we're going to block under the wheel. I'm actually going to break the lug nuts free on the ground. And we are going to have to pull this wheel off and disconnect the battery. Those are the first things that we're going to do. And then we're going to lift up the truck. Well, all right, guys. One thing I did want to say really quick before I go any further into changing my starter is I made a little bit of a mistake when I put my valve cover on. There's a little half moon that goes in the back. I don't even think you guys would be able to see it on camera. But right there is that little black bushing thing, and I think I can just take it off. So that leaves to have oil just flying out of the engine. I was like, man, getting a little bit of a spot of oil on the ground there. What's going on? And simple as that, this just wasn't in the right spot. I thought it was, but it needs to go a step forward. So the only way to do that, which kind of sucks because this is super difficult to get in, is we're going to pull the valve cover and put this gasket in the right spot. But good to notice it now. It's good to inspect your work. Like I said, there's a reason this is kind of like a part 3 to the timing chain cover thing, because if I come across any issues, you guys will know about it this video. And so far, you know, this is the only thing. I'll take it. It seemed like it made sense where it went, but I guess we're going to dive deeper. But anyway, until then, I'm going to mess with that right now, fix that. And we got our wheel off on this side. And the starter is really easy to access from here. I mean, as easy as it's going to be. So I'm going to mess with the valve cover and I'll see you guys in a few. Well, we got it pulled. An honest mistake. It just happens. So this will ride along in the front half of the valve cover gasket. So I'll show you down here now. It's going to be a weird sideways clip. But you can see I had it on the back groove. I mean, I'm sure you can see why I did that. But yeah, I'm starting to see oil everywhere. I mean, hey, it's a good coating, so whatever. But man, that really explains some stuff, honestly. I don't know. Guess it's a good chance to check out the guides and everything. Everything's looking good. So yeah, can't complain. All right, now to put it all back, I'm gonna wipe some things down. Well, beautiful. Now that that's back on, we can continue over to the starter. Like I said, it's cool to admit your mistakes, you know. It's how you guys get to learn as well, you know. Someone else hopefully won't make that same mistake because they watched that video and saw me make it. But until then, we have two 14mm bolts that hold. This over here is our starter. It connects to our transmission, connects right to the flywheel, if you aren't sure. But anyway, there's two 14mm bolts. I'm gonna flip the camera just to try to give you guys a better view. So you can see there's gonna be one right down there, you can see right there, and the other one's gonna be up top. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna get at them yet, but it is a 14mm bolt. All right, we got our first bolt off. We're underneath the truck by the oil pan, and I just accessed it from this space right here. The top one I haven't quite figured out yet, but I'll let you guys know when I get it out. Honestly, I got a little ratchet hooked up there with a long socket right up here from down below, and it's actually pretty easy to get to. So with just some basic sockets and ratchets, you can get at it pretty well. I can always hear that truck coming down the road. Well, just about ready to head over to get the tires mounted. The last part I gotta do is we're on the back half of the starter now, just kind of finagled it through here. I think this is a 12mm nut. We're gonna pull that off and unplug this sensor that's up here. And then we'll come back in the morning and plug in the new starter. Well, that was fun. I apologize I wasn't able to really give you guys a full in-depth on how to get it out, but it was pretty easy. I mean, pretty much described it, and I just walked it all the way down the transmission until it came out. So we're gonna grab the new one in the morning. I am pretty excited, to be honest.
Joke's on you.
Here comes the big one.
No, I'm done. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, we just mounted the tires onto the wheels. The sun is setting right now. It is Thursday night. There's a car meet tomorrow night, Friday night, and we're gonna go pick up the starter in the morning and apply that to the truck and put it on the star wheels, and we'll be good to go to the car meet. Hopefully everything goes good. So I'll see you all in the morning. So, quick starter story. Went to order the starter yesterday around 12, and they were like, yeah, it'll be in tomorrow morning. So I go there, and they didn't have it. So I was like, all right, yeah, no big deal, no big deal. I actually called a second place and had a second one ordered. They're like, oh, okay, cool. So next thing you know, I go there and they didn't have it either. So it was two places that didn't have my starter. So we ordered quite a few at different parts stores, and finally we have the starter we need. It's the short, fat, stubby one with this plug. So we should be good now. How it goes, but same thing. I'm gonna feed it up the same way by the transmission up, and throw the electrical piece back on in the back here, and we'll be good to go. This was a successful mission. We just put our wheel back on. We got the starter in place, all new. Real simple to do. I access the top bolt from right here. I access the bottom bolt from down there. It's really, really simple. I'm gonna crack the lug nuts on this wheel, pull it off, put the other wheel on, and hopefully we'll make it to tonight's car meet. But if you want to see the car meet, it'll be coming out in an upcoming vlog video, I'm sure. This video, I don't think, will gain the excitement it deserves to throw the car meet in it. So this is more of a how-to on some basic maintenance for you guys, just to help out the D21 community a bit. Wow, guys, we got the front caps back on the wheels. Gotta close up the bed cover and give it a start. Oh, actually, I forgot one important detail before I actually start this thing, which is good. Make sure when you do your starter, guys, you unplug that battery. But make sure when you're done, you plug that bad boy back in. That would have jump scared me for a second there. So we're gonna tighten that down, tighten our negative down, get a little sparking. Woo. All right, now we're gonna go tighten this and then go start it. All right, guys, we're gonna see if days of hard work and trial and error pay off. Ooh. Starts really fast, like compared to before. I guess I didn't realize how sluggish the starter had become. But gonna give it a second. We're gonna go take it for a ride. And like I said, since our first test drive in the last video, I had forgotten that little half moon piece, which spilt a little oil, which is fine. I mean, it's not gonna harm anything right now, but it was good to double check your work after your first, minute test drive and make sure nothing's leaking and everything, which I wouldn't have noticed the leak until I had taken off. But sweet, I'm very happy with this. We're gonna go take it for a rip and see if any of the ticking has gone down, see if there's any noticeable differences. But I'm excited. That was a successful mission. I'm going to clean up the truck now and get it ready for the car meet later, and I'll showcase the car meet in a vlog style video. All right, guys, so I'm just about ready to do my tie rod ends. I have to do this super fast, so I'm just gonna give a basic explanation. You have grease points back here. You're gonna take a grease gun and grease them up. Some of them are closed, so they already have grease in them. But we're gonna pull our wheels off first, and I'll show you the tie rod ends. So I'm just gonna show one side. Basically, once you get to the tie rod ends, this right here is a tie rod end, this is the sleeve, and the other end goes all the way up to right here. We're going to take our cotter pins out. You don't want to reuse these. So we've pulled that out. We're just gonna rest it there. Now we gotta break our castle nut free. We're gonna be a 19. And so we're gonna put our ratchet on there next and break that free. So once you get the nuts off, you're probably gonna have to hit this with a hammer a couple times, hit all around it, hit right on the side, hit that head on, hit the threads, and there you go. Pops right out. We're gonna do the same thing down in there. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to evenly thread in these tie rod ends. One is reverse thread up until it matches as close as it can to the tie rod ends we just took off. This is how you're gonna want your tie rod ends to look. You want the long side facing the inside of the truck and the shorter side right here. This is your outer and those are your inners. So with the sleeve, we have this adjusted where we want it. So we're gonna tighten these up. It's just a nut and bolt on each side. I'm not too sure what size, probably about 12, 13. And we're gonna tighten these up. See, right now it's loose. You're gonna want this all the way up here, tighten down, and there's gonna be a hole. You're gonna feed a cotter pin right through. And it's pretty much how you do the install. Sorry, this is super fast, but I just wanted to get the basic idea out there for you guys to see. And I'm gonna get my truck on the ground and head out instantly. All right, guys, we are back out here now. Sorry I didn't get to make a super detailed video on how to do the tie rod ends. It's something I've definitely shown before. I mean, even in my most recent videos with the black truck, I'm showing you how to install tie rod ends and stuff. So there's vids out there, but I gave you a quick gist of it. Huge shout out to my friend Shaq Bro for helping me with all my front end alignments in the last few weeks with this truck, the black truck. So that is super sick. And then shout out to my boy Nate, who found this weird rattle I started to get in the engine. I just did the timing chain. I thought maybe the tensioner was busted. Nope. It was this little oil cap just came free. You know, it was just rattling. So I don't know. I don't know if I can use Teflon tape or not. I'll get back to you guys on that. But things are looking good. I want to get, there's a little leak in my exhaust down there. I'm just from scraping that I want to get fixed. And once that is fixed, we are ready for a tune. So let's go. That is big ups for the channel. Well, all right, everybody, thank you so much for checking out today's video. This was just a video showing some basic maintenance on your Nissan hardbody. In an upcoming video, I'm going to be installing the trigger disc that goes in our distributor for the Mega Square ECU to read a little bit better. So hopefully we can get rid of that almost stall out when we blip the throttle at lower RPMs. But again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.